This is Advanced Math, Unit 9, Lesson 4. Factor with synthetic division and rational root theorem. So this is new for you guys, this rational root theorem. The synthetic and everything else has been reviewed so far. We are starting some new stuff. Okay, number 1, x equals -4 is a solution of x cubed minus 28x minus 48 equals 0, period. Okay, I don't have the tools to factor this. It's an x cubed function. It's not a trinomial factoring. I don't have the tools to factor it. But I know if I plug in -4, it would work and equal 0. Okay, use it to help factor completely. All right, so I know one factor is going to be x plus 4, because if I were to have this, x plus 4 and some other factors equals 0, and I set that equal to 0, x equals -4 would be one of my solutions. I have to find these other factors over here. Okay, so here's what we do. We use our box. If I were to set x plus 4 equal to 0, I would get the -4, so the -4 goes in the box. Why? Because it's already equal x. Coefficients, 1, there is no x squared, so I put a 0. X to the first is -28. No x is -48. 1, 0, -28, -48. And I put the 0 there because there was no x squared. All right, drop it. 1, I multiply, that's -4. I add, I'm going to drop my line here. I add, that's -4. Multiply, that's positive 16. -28 plus 16 is -12. I multiply, that's positive 48. Add, and I get 0. A quick note, when you do this, when they give you a solution and they're asking you to find the other factors, the solution they give you, that remainder should be 0. Because it is a factor, it is a solution, the remainder should be 0. All right, and then I take what's left and I go one less. Third power is what I had here, so I'm going to go one less, second power. 1x squared minus 4x minus 12. I just went in decreasing order. X squared minus 4x minus 12. Use it to help you factor this completely. So what I'm going to do is double bubble x and x plus and minus plus 2 minus 6, that multiplies to -4, adds up to -12. So what is my final answer? X plus 2, x minus 6, and then the one they gave us, x plus 4. So that's this in factored form. How did we do that? We used the -4. We got our other two factors, these two factors that we were missing, x plus 2, x minus 6, and then I used the original one they gave us. If it's x equals -4, that means I write it this way as x plus 4. And if I were to double distribute this and then triple distribute and do all that good stuff, we'd end up with x cubed minus 28x minus 48. All right. We are going to graph that problem there. So we're going to write it here. Y equals x plus 2, x minus 6, and x plus 4. Okay, so we did talk about graphing in previous notes. We do our end behavior. The degree is 3, and it is positive, which means it is low-high. If you put arrows, that's fine. We said equal to 0 to find our x-intercepts. X plus 2, x minus 6, and x plus 4. And we state the multiplicity. It looks like they all have a multiplicity of 1 because there's no squared. None of them happens more than once. So our x-intercepts are -2, +6, -4. And they are all crosses. They're going to cross because there's no multiplicity of 2 or 4 or anything even. Okay, and then we also find our y-intercept. Don't forget that y-intercept. If you forget it, you're going to lose points. Y-intercept, we make x equals 0. Again, for our y-intercepts, we make x equals 0. Okay, so y equals 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 minus 6 is -6, and 0 plus 4 is 4. You multiply all those together and you get -48. And we are ready to graph. All right. All right, so I know I have an x-intercept at -2. I know I have one at -4, 2, 3, 4, at +6. And I know I'm going to start low, end high, and I have a y-intercept at -48. I'm just going to put a tick mark there, -48. All right, I start low on this bottom part, and I have these two x-intercepts to cross, not bounce. So I come up. I don't know how high I go, but I know I come back down to hit that intercept. And when I come down, I do know how low to go. I know to hit that -48, and then I have to come back up to cross that one. I don't bounce it. I cross it, and since there's no more x-intercepts pulling me down, I'm coming up and ending up on the top side, going up forever. Started low, end high, y-intercept -48, and I have all three x-intercepts. All right. That's it for that problem. Moving on to number 2. F of x equals 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 19x plus 6. Two factors are x plus 3, x minus 2. A, find the remaining factor. And I know there's only one more, which is why factor is not plural. If I have two factors and the degree is 3, I only have one more factor left. B, write out in factored form. And C, list all zeros. All right. Now, they gave us two factors. On this previous problem, they only gave us one factor. They didn't give it to us in factored form. They didn't give it to us as x plus 4. They gave it to us as a solution. But they only gave us one. Here, they're giving us two solutions. -3 is a solution and +2 is a solution if I were to set that equal to 0. Because they gave you two, it does not matter which one you pick. Pick one. I'm going to pick this one. If you want to on your own, or hit pause at the end of this problem and try it with the other one, it will work either way. Okay, if I pick x minus 2, 2 goes in the box. Third power, second power, first power, no power, they're all there. No zeros needed. 3, 2, -19 and 6. Drop the first one, 3. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, and add. And as I stated earlier, that last one should come out to be 0 if you're using one of the solutions from the factors. All right, third power, so I'm going one less, that's 3x squared plus 8x minus 3. Second power, first power, constant. I always decrease one from here, one from the degree here, and then from here I decrease going downward. Second power, first power, no power. Okay, I factor 3x and x, 3 and 1. My negative's going to go here and positive there. Negative x, 9x is going to give me the 8x in the middle. Okay, so A, find the remaining factor. Now I found 2 here, but it only is asking for 1. That's because one of these is one of the existing factors. Do you see that x plus 3 was the one that was already given? So this here is the remaining factor. Now, if you had chosen negative 3 here, then you would have ended up with x plus 3 and x minus 2 in factored form. It would look different here, but we'd end up with the same answers. Okay, part A, and I think I said that wrong. If you had used the, I'm going to repeat it one more time. If you had used the negative 3 instead of the positive 2, you would end up with, right here, you would have ended up with x minus 2, and here the 3x minus 1. Okay, part A, remaining factor is at 3x minus 1. Part B, write out in factored form, 3x minus 1, x plus 3 and x minus 2. Again, if you had used the other number, we'd end up with the same answer in the end. And part C, list all zeros. There's 3 of them. Positive 1/3, negative 3, and positive 2. Number 3, list all possible rational roots. List all possible rational roots. Okay, f of x equals 2x to the 5th plus 4x squared plus 15. Okay, so here is the new part for you. Possible rational roots. You haven't seen that before, but I will tell you what it is. It's always going to be factors of p over factors of q. Factors of p over factors of q. P always being your last number when it's in standard form, and q always being your leading coefficient. Again, it should be written in standard form. The middle numbers do not matter, just the 15 and the 2. So I'm going to list the factors of 2. The factors of 2 are only 1 and 2. The factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, 15. All right, so I do all of these factors over 1 and then all of these factors over 2. So all of these factors over 1 would be 1, 3, 5, 15. 1 over 1, 3 over 1, 5 over 1, 15 over 1, comma. Now I'm going to do them all over the 2. So 1 over 2, and then the 3 over the 2, 5 over 2, and 15 over 2. You would reduce if you could, but nothing reduces. And you do have to know, I'm going to put parentheses here, plus or minus. You could write plus or minus in all of them, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5. I just put on the outside, plus or minus all of them are possible rational roots. There might be imaginary solutions, there might be radical solutions, but these are possible rational roots. Okay, why do we do this? We'll see it on the next example. Number 4. Find all roots of f of x equals x to the 4th minus x cubed minus 29x squared minus x minus 30. Now, it's going to seem really complicated at first, but I promise the more we do, the better you'll become at it, and we're going to get more practice in class together. Okay, they didn't give you anything. Like on the other problems that we've been doing, they were giving us solutions, or they were giving us some factors, and we had a place to start. Now they give us nothing, so we're going to use the rational root theorem. Factors of 30 over factors of 1. Factors of 30, I'm going to ignore the negative 30, just 30. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. Factors of 1 are just 1, which is nice because now we don't have as much to list. Plus or minus all of these over 1, and since 1 is the only factor, I don't have to write them over 2 or over 3, so it's just that list of numbers there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 30. Now that is a lot of numbers. We're going to learn some more shortcuts next lesson on how to make this list even smaller. For now, we don't have that, so we're just going to start making some guesses. So you pick a number. It doesn't matter what number as long as it's from this list. You wouldn't pick 60. You wouldn't pick 12. You see that those numbers are not in here. You wouldn't pick numbers like 4 or 8. Only numbers from this list are going to be numbers that we guess. I'm going to make 2 my first guess. And this goes in 4th power, 3rd power, 2nd power, 1st power, and no power. So that's 1, negative 1, negative 29, negative 1, negative 30. All right, the number drops down. It is 2. You multiply, you get, I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm getting the 2. That bell threw me off. I apologize. You drop it down, it's 1. Multiply, you get 2. Add, you get 1. Remember that last number is the remainder. Multiply, you get 2 again. Negative 27 when you add. Multiply, it's negative 54. Add, it's negative 55. Multiply is negative 110. And when you add that together, you get negative 140, which is not 0. This last number has to be 0. If it's not 0, then this is not a factor. At least positive 2 is not a factor. So I'm going to put a little positive 2 here. It doesn't work. You can try negative 2. You can try other numbers. I'm going to stop here, and I will finish this with you guys in class.